I am the host, Richard Ravenbrook, a man, a life coach, and a spiritual mentor who has endeavored to find real spiritual truth and self-enlightenment. With experiences in various ministry types, pagan traditions, and even magical paths. With a love for Mother Earth and the balance of life, I work to channel spirit and to help educate and mentor those striving to deconstruct from mainstream religion and to empower them to find the divinity within themselves and to the truth around them. The messages are focused on everyday life, creating an environment of real coexistence, a world of mutual respect, love, and dignity. The pagan preacher is all things, the preacher and the pagan, speaking from the wisdom of spirit. Welcome everyone, welcome back to another episode of Leaving Religion, formerly the Pagan Preacher Podcast. I am Richard Ravenbrook, and what Spirit wants to talk about today is what's going on around our country right now. What's going on around our country right now has been going around our world, just in a different aspect. Over the last several months, areas like Gaza and other areas have been bombarded, children murdered, slaughtered, women murdered in the streets, bombed in their sleep. This week, Mother Nature kind of did it to us. And we kind of get the feeling of the desperation that all these other people around the world have been having for months. The Spirit has been warning for months, if not years, that we need to come together again. That it's not about religion, but it's about us. You know, Ozzy Osbourne says something a long time ago, that it didn't matter who your divine power was. Without each of us, we'll never make it. That's not an exact quote, but that's what he said, and it's true. That you can believe all you want to believe. That unless we find a way to come together in our mutual interest, in our common interest, lay down these foolish indoctrinations of religion that separate us, this ignorance of what is good and what is evil. Because what is good and what is evil is different for each person. And what you perceive as evil, because you were taught it is evil, doesn't mean that it actually is evil. Our perception, our understanding in this country is slim to none at the best. We are ignorant of where we come from. We're ignorant of our history. What is taught in our schools is untruth and simply lies for the most part. Most of us don't even know what happened 50 to 100 years ago. They don't know the truth anyway. We listen to the news media that's on TV, the biased news, and this isn't just a conspiracy theorist kind of stuff. It's been proven time and time again that our news media cannot be trusted, that they work for the corporate interest, and there is no doubt. The things that we've been seeing all over the world, that's not broadcasted on the news media, and if it is, it's broadcasted in a different perspective. lies. And we're beginning to see that now in the United States with the catastrophe and the disasters that happened in Florida and North Carolina and Tennessee and various other areas. Devastation everywhere, death everywhere. We're beginning to see that our own government isn't going to be there for us. Spirit is trying to tell us again, this time with an iron fist, that it's time we learn to come together again and let go of this entitlement society where we depend on a government, where we depend on someone else to save us rather than us saving ourselves, rather than our communities coming together, not in what they think they can profit out of it, but because it's simply the right thing to do. People everywhere, where is our religious bodies right now? Where are the religious people when all this is happening? Because they should have immediately, without hesitation, been given 100% towards helping the people in these disasters, without question of morality or what religion they were or anything. But they should have been there. But we all should have been there. We all should be there. I know not all of us can just pack up and leave our jobs and just go help. But there are ways for us to help. We can organize different trucks of water, food, supplies. We can organize and send a couple that dozens of families are supplying. There's always ways. There's always ways that you can help. Maybe take in someone that their home has been destroyed. Maybe simply whatever it is the Spirit lays on your heart. But I think right now we're being shown something. Not just simply that our government isn't there, that we lost, we the people, many years ago, but that we lost each other. Leaving religion. Religion has had a hold on this country for centuries, since its foundation. And look where we are. Look where it's got us. That it's every person for themselves. Everyone dependent on the government. And if you need anything from religious people, then you have to obey by you have to become members of the church, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. I know because I was there. I saw church politics. I was there for 20 years. I saw it. I know how they work. And it grieves the Spirit. And what I'm saying is, everything that has been done has not worked. Look where we are. Our country is in total turmoil. And don't say, well, that's because, evil is rising up in this country and we need to take it back for God. Your own belief says that God is in control. Everything that has been done has been allowed. Every door that has been opened has been accessed by the divine, enabled by the divine. Because even your scripture says that God even creates evil. It's what we do with what we know inside. Even Yeshua, what you call Jesus, said, the kingdom of God is within you. It's within us. Jesus, Yeshua, did not follow the same path as the Pharisees. Thus, he didn't follow the same path of the church, because the Pharisees were the leaders of the current church at that time. So when you begin to leave religion, you begin to tell people that we need to come together, that we need to look within ourselves instead of looking outwardly or depending on a church or depending on a government, that we need to exercise our own divinity and make our own choices, that we don't need to pray to another God, that we have the power within us to make such change. Because even Yeshua said, if you had the faith of a mustard seed, you could tell that mountain to move and it would be moved. Where is your belief now? Where is your power now? Labels and perception have completely destroyed this country and a majority of the world. Bad religious leaders trying to convince everybody that anything outside the four walls of the church is evil, and they label it as such, and then they label that as evil. You know, I have many pagan friends. I have many friends that label themselves as witches, white witches, whatever you want to, consider. There's all kinds of different, but it's all the same, because magic is neither black nor white, but neutral. It is what it is, and it is what it always has been. It's the heart of the individual that makes things good or evil. But I've seen religious leaders point to these people with no knowledge of these people, no knowledge of their character, no knowledge of their history, no knowledge of what they do, and they condemn them for a label, because that label has been tarnished and blackballed and blackwashed by religious leaders for centuries. But just because they do that, it doesn't make it real. How do you judge something that you know nothing about? Do you know that these people heal? If they use herbs and different things of the earth to heal people, that they help create a positive atmosphere, positive energy, not only of physical healing, but emotional and spiritual healing. What you label as bad is what we need many times. The church has had over 200 years in this country to make this country what they said it should be, and they failed. It's been an utter and complete failure. And there is no prophecy, I'm not saying that, it's prophecy that everyone's going to walk away, and do you know why religious people know prophecy? Because it's already happened before. You know why it's in these books? To continue with a cycle that has been going on for generations and generations and generations of humanity, keeping us in this loop of ignorance, locked into a matrix that never wants us to be enlightened and to grow. But we gotta come out of this. Prophecy, many times, not always, I'm not saying there isn't such thing as prophecy, because there is. There is spiritual insight. But we know certain things are going to take place because they already have taken place before. Everyone knows that Earth's cycle is every 12,000 years. We know this. Well, those that have studied and researched and understand know this. That we know that every 12,000 years the Earth heals herself by destroying, obliviating, reforming, and restructuring. But we have spent our lives building monuments of humanity, huge buildings, that we think are going to last forever, rather than just taking the time to enjoy Mother Earth, the creatures that we've allowed to go extinct. Because sometimes humanity spreads like roaches, not caring about what resources we are consuming, what resources we are taking from who, and the death that we cause around us by taking too much. You know, even the Native Americans knew with the buffalo, they only took what they needed. Americans are selfish, greedy, we're getting fat, we're spoiled. Everything we need, we can just order from a grocery store. Many of us don't even have to leave our house anymore. We can just have it delivered to the door. Anything we want, anything we need, we can just, as long as we have a job, we can buy it. We don't know how to earn it anymore. Or we don't know how to make it anymore. Harvest it, hunt it, fish it. We don't even teach those things in school anymore. You know, leaving religion is about finding our way back to ourselves. It's about finding our way back to those pagan roots. You know, pagan simply means country dweller. It was those people that were far enough outside of the church's influence that they still follow the old ways. Or people that decided that they were going to follow the old ways and disregard the threats of the church. But the word pagan got a black stain on it by the church. Pagan became a bad term, an evil term. That if you said you were a pagan, all of a sudden people believed that you somehow serve or worship the devil. When almost all pagans don't even believe in a biblical devil. Because when you really truly get to studying and understanding that there is no biblical hell, there is no devil. Is there good and evil? Yes. There's good and evil in us. We create such things with our intent, with our minds, with our words. You know, our words are powerful. They manifest into reality. When we're negative all the time, we create negative atmospheres. When we begin to be positive, what would happen if we all came together? Not in a religious way, but in a way where we were all looking within us, looking within ourselves, looking around our country. And just what would we do if we just started loving each other again? We can't like everybody, because there's going to be somebody out there that we simply cannot agree with. But that does not mean we cannot coexist with them, that we cannot work with them in the mutual interest of things. We've lost the ability to work together. We've lost the we, the people, and it's just me and them now, or us and them. It hasn't failed because of bad politicians. The United States is failing because of us, by failed patriots that have refused to stand in fear due to a slavery built around debt, that people are afraid to actually do anything outside of the norm, go to work, pay bills, because that's what works, that's what keeps. And in an aspect, that's kind of like paying off the bullies so you don't get beat up. It's easier, isn't it? Well, as long as I just go to work and I do my job, I come home, I can pay my bills, and I get to have a house, and I get to eat. I get to do little things here and there. Of course, if I ever stop paying those things, or if I ever lose my job, I'm probably going to lose it all because I never really owned it to begin with. Because taxes and the government just takes it away. But we go through this cycle all the time, unable to break free. People say, well, I just don't know where to start. Yes, you do. You just have to have the courage to begin. And it begins by looking within ourselves, laying down the swords of religion, and picking up just a hand to humanity. These people are devastated. This hurricane didn't just wipe out one area. It is wiping out homes, businesses, people. People are dying still. And what do? Are we mad because the government's not doing anything? Are we mad because certain organizations aren't doing anything? But at the same time, may the Spirit work on each one of us about what we're doing, what we can do. Even if it's just speaking a positive affirmation to bless these people, that may they find refuge, may they find food and water, may they find a helping hand that pulls them from the water, even down to the smallest animal. May they be saved, because they are our brothers and our sisters, and all creatures great and small. They are our responsibility because they are our family. All of us are family. All of us come from the same place, the same origin. We look different, we act different, we talk different. But in reality, we are the same. But yet we have spent centuries fighting over land and power and resources because we're afraid that if one person, one tribe, one culture has more than the rest, then they become a superpower. Kind of like we did in the United States. And being ex-military, being ex-minister, I've seen things and know things and understand things that many people can't phantom. When you say that I love my country and I do anything for it, I die for it, I ask you, at this point in time, why would you die for a country that cares nothing for you? Would I defend my country? Would I defend my home? Surely. Would I defend my community? Yes. Would I defend against people that were coming against and wanting to hurt my brothers and sisters around me? Yes. But would I just ignorantly pack up and go overseas and fight for a country that I know cares nothing about me and cares nothing about the people that they desire me to go kill? That they're sending Americans overseas to kill in the name of resources, in the name of oil, and where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line and take our country back? Take our life back? When do we find the divinity within ourselves again and stop the cycle that has been going on for generations? Because the cycle, I've been saying for months that these things are going to happen. The things that we see around Mother Earth, and the tornadoes and the hurricanes and the earthquakes. I've been saying for months these things are coming, and I wasn't wrong. And what's coming in the next couple months, the next few months, I believe are going to be worse than what we've seen right now. And unless we find a way to come together and let go of that religious nature and just simply start loving each other, I don't care what race you are, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what gender you are, I don't care what gender, sexual orientation you are. You are a human being. You are worthy of life, of happiness, of love. And it's not for any human, any failed, flawed human to judge you for what you feel inside, what you believe. That we should be helping each other. That we should be we should be happy helping each other. Not obligated and not wanting things in return. You know, these people that they show videos of themselves giving people money and different things. And it saddens me because they're not doing it to help people. They're just doing it for, you know, the publicity, the fame, and the whatever it may be. People, may we find in our hearts, may we find in our spirit to begin to love people, this world, and the balance of life again. May we go back to some of what we knew in the old ways, listening to the ancestors, how they lived, how they knew and understood that we can't take more than what we need, and we can't just keep destroying and expect everything to be okay. We can't just keep cutting down trees and pouring pavement over them and building buildings and building more homes for more people as we just grow and grow and grow while the animal life dies around us and the resources are consumed. What happens when they're all consumed? What happens when there's nothing left? That time will come. But Mother Nature has a way of preventing that sometimes. And that's what we're seeing right now. Take some time. No matter where you are, what you're doing, may we find a way to come together to help these people. Maybe it's just one family that you could help. Maybe you could sponsor one family. Maybe you could do more. Maybe it's volunteering somewhere. Maybe it's just praying for them. Whatever it is, make it an action. Make it a true action. If you're going to pray, manifest it. Make it happen. Believe it can happen. Manifest that water. Manifest the waters to reside, cool down. For big businesses to want to help. Big corporations to want to simply help rebuild without the word profit ever being in the picture. Humanity. You know, it can mean many things. It's not just a race of people. Humanity is it's an emotion. It's a feeling within us. When we lose our humanity in itself dies. We're all just an empty bunch of vessels running around like robots, serving a higher elite. And I'm telling you now that we can change things. We can make a world that only you can dream of, but it's not a dream. It can be real. But you gotta lay down that sword of religion. You gotta lay down that sword of judgment. You gotta lay down the he said, she said stuff. And just simply begin to do what we know is right. Helping each other. Be blessed, everybody. And blessed be. This has been Richard Ravenbrook. I invite you to visit my website at www.leavingreligion.com. You can book a session there if you need to. Life coaching, psychic readings, clairvoyant readings. And the podcast is there as well. Be blessed, everybody. Thank you, everyone. This is Richard Ravenbrook. From my heart to yours, I hope you are blessed. Please be a blessing. Share these podcasts. Share my short videos. Tell the world the work that's being done. Help me open the minds of those so closed. Help me bring into the fold those seeking truth and enlightenment. Be blessed.